What happens when a player becomes known more for reckless hits and flagrant fouls than actual basketball skill? When the face of your league is catching elbows, black eyes, and cheap shots, all from the same person, how long before the league finally says enough is enough? Today, we're breaking down the growing controversy surrounding DiJonai Carrington, the WNBA's most dangerous player right now. From injuring opponents and teammates to getting security called during a conversation with a ref, this isn't just rough play. This is a player who's crossing lines every game, and now the league is finally stepping in. Let's start with the facts. DiJonai Carrington leads the entire WNBA in one category this season. And no, it's not scoring, assists, or rebounds. It's flagrant fouls. 3 flagrant fouls in just over a month. That's more than many players rack up in their entire careers. Think about that. In a league that prides itself on physical play, Carrington isn't just towing the line, she's bulldozing past it. Most players understand the difference between aggressive defense and dirty basketball. But for Carrington, it's not just one bad play. It's becoming a pattern that fans, players, and analysts are starting to call dangerous. May 21st, the Dallas Wings are up against the Minnesota Lynx. The game seems normal until Jessica Shepard takes off on a fast break. Out of nowhere, Carrington comes flying in from behind. She reaches out, claims she's going for the ball, but what she actually hits is Shepard's face. The impact sends Shepard crashing to the ground. But it gets worse. Paige Buchers, Carrington's own teammate, dives in to break Shepard's fall and ends up hurt herself. Let that sink in. One play, one moment of reckless decision-making, and 2 players, 1 opponent, and 1 teammate are left shaken up on the court. Replay showed Carrington had no realistic chance at a clean block. It wasn't defense. It was chaos disguised as hustle. And yet, the refs only called it a flagrant one. Fans weren't buying it, and neither were analysts. You'd think, after a play like that, Carrington might pull back. But just 2 weeks later, she delivered not 1, but 2 more reckless plays in the same game against the Seattle Storm. Late in the 4th quarter, Skylar Diggins was sprinting for a fast break layup. She was ahead of the defense, the kind of play where you expect an easy 2 points. But here comes Carrington, again, from behind. And again, she doesn't go for the ball. She goes for the head. Carrington winds up and smacks Diggins midair, sending her crashing hard to the floor. The refs called another flagrant one, but to everyone watching, it looked like something way more serious. Diggins stayed down for a moment. The crowd went quiet. The replay made it obvious Carrington wasn't making a basketball play. She was trying to send a message, and fans were sick of it. Still not done. Earlier in that same Seattle game, Carrington closed out on Gabby Williams during a jump shot and put her foot right underneath Williams' landing space. If you know basketball, you know how dangerous that is. That's how ankles get snapped, knees get torn up, and careers get shortened. Williams rolled her ankle and had to be evaluated. That kind of move isn't just dirty, it's career-threatening. And to do it in the same game where you already had a headshot on a fast break, that's a pattern. That's intent. Commentators watching the game called it reckless. Social media called it disgraceful. And the comparisons started flying. People were calling Carrington the Draymond Green or Dylan Brooks of the WNBA. Not a compliment. Now let's rewind to where this whole narrative really started. The 2024 playoffs. Indiana Fever versus Connecticut Sun. Was supposed to be Caitlin Clark's big debut in the WNBA postseason. And what did Carrington do? She poked Clark in the eye early in the game while defending her. The result? A full black eye on national television. Clark stayed in the game because that's who she is. But the damage was done, physically, emotionally, and momentum-wise. It shook the rookie's rhythm. And let's be real, if your star player is taking eye shots in round 1 of the playoffs, that's going to affect the entire team. Carrington later said it wasn't intentional, but fans weren't buying it, especially considering everything else that's happened since. One black eye and a whole season of questionable plays later, and Carrington's excuses just don't hold up anymore. As if the flagrant fouls weren't enough, Carrington is also creating scenes off the court. After a May 30th loss to the Chicago Sky, Carrington approached a referee postgame to argue about the calls. That's normal. Happens every game. What's not normal? The referee feeling so uncomfortable during the conversation that he actually called for security. Let me repeat that. A WNBA ref called security on a player after a routine post-game interaction. Think of how heated refs get in the NBA and WNBA. These people deal with angry players all the time. But whatever Carrington said, whatever she was doing, it went far enough that a professional official needed a bodyguard. Carrington went on social media afterward, calling it a microaggression, and said she was being civil. But fans were quick to point out, when every room you walk into ends up in a conflict, maybe the problem isn't the room. After all these incidents, the league and its fans are no longer quiet. Former players, analysts, and fans are flooding social media, calling Carrington a hazard. Jason Whitlock tweeted that Carrington is going to seriously injure someone. Other fans say she's a walking tech who doesn't belong on a professional court. Some even compared her to Patrick Beverley, more known for antics and fouls than real contribution. One commentator said flat out, "You're not Draymond, you're Pat Bev." And no one asked for another Pat Bev. And you know what? They're not wrong. When you're hurting opponents, injuring teammates, and forcing refs to call security, that's not competitive edge. That's recklessness. And the league is finally feeling the pressure to do something about it. So, here we are. Not even 10 games into the season, and DiJonai Carrington already has 3 flagrant fouls, 2 injured players, a referee incident, and a reputation as the league's dirtiest player. The WNBA has a decision to make.